Hello and welcome back. We are going to start this unit with a little bit of a concept that should be reviewed, and that is solving systems of equations. If you remember, systems of equations are just what they sound like. It is a system, like more than one equation that you need to solve. So let's remind ourselves how to solve a system of equations. We're going to do that by opening up whiteboard here, and I'm going to show you some ways that we can solve a system of equations. Just as a little reminder, system of equations, two different equations together. So let's look at this. How about if we had the two equations 6x plus 6y equals negative 6 and 5x plus y equals negative 13. And I asked you to solve this system of equations using substitution. So to use substitution to solve this system of equations, remember we've got to get one variable by itself. In this case, it looks like we can subtract 5x from both sides of this one down here, minus 5x, negative 13 minus 5x. So then we get y equals negative 13 minus 5x. And that is an important little feature because now we have y all by its lonesome, and that's what we wanted, is y by its lonesome. So now we can go over here to this, we can go to the other equation right up here, and we can substitute this term right here, 13 minus 5x, for y. So I'm going to write this out again, and it's going to be 6x plus 6 times the quantity of negative 13 minus 5x equals negative 6. This is why you never want to forget PEMDAS, your order of operations. Again, this should all be reviewed for you. So if we go 6 times negative 13, we go ahead and grab a calculator. And in our calculator, we go 6 times negative 13. What did I tell you about using calculators? I expect you to use calculators, right? Oh, we don't want 6 minus 13. I expect you to use them correctly. So 6 times 13 equals 78, and we make that a negative, so we get 6x plus negative 78, so that's going to become a minus 78, plus negative 78, and then 6 times negative 5 is 30, so minus 30 x equals negative 6. Cool. Now we get rid of that plus because it's just going to be minus. It's going to become minus because you don't do a minus and positive. 6x minus 30x, it's going to be negative 24x. So negative 78 minus 24x equals negative 6. And then let me move that around a little bit on us. So now we can subtract, or we can add 78 to both sides, plus 78. We're going to get negative 24x equals negative 6 plus 78 is 72. This is shaping up nicely. Excellent. And we could divide by negative 24 on both sides. 72 divided by negative 24. Let's go ahead and enter that into our calculator so that we're not trying to do everything from memory. 72 divided by 24 equals 3. So 72 divided by negative 24 is going to equal negative 3. I always try not to put negatives in the calculator because it just adds to the potential for confusion. So now we've got an x value. We have x equals negative 3. We're not quite done yet. There are a lot of steps to these, but now we have x equals negative 3. And if we go back up here to our original system of equations, we can now substitute the value for x in to get y. So let's go back to where we have, let's just put it right in the first one. It will work no matter which one you put it in. So you could plug that x into here, you could plug it into here, or you could plug it into here. Either one of those works. So let's go. X is negative 3. Let's go 6 times, I want to do that in black. I don't want to confuse you even more. Here we go. We go 6 times negative 3 plus 6y equals negative 6. 6 times negative 3 is negative 18, plus 6y equals negative 6, plus 18, plus 18. 6y equals 12. So y equals 2. And then remember that you have to write this answer out in the right format. So y equals 2. And we go back to x equals 3. And then we would write this out x first. We have two answers. So the answer to the system of equations is negative 3. Shoot. My bad. Here we go. Negative 3, 2. That's our answer to that system of equations. Now, that was a really, really quick review. I'll go over this more with you in class, but there is something really, really cool I want to show you. I want to show you a little tool that makes all of this 1,000 times easier. So that tool is called Desmos. It is a graphing calculator. Now, you guys probably have not been exposed to a graphing calculator yet, but I'm going to go ahead and do that right now. So where you want to go is you want to go on your Chromebooks, type in www. Or you can just say desmos.com. Desmos.com. This is free to you, unlike when I was a kid and we had to pay $100 for a TI-83. This is fantastic. Click on this blue button here that says Graphing Calculator. So once you have Desmos open, you'll see this side was where the graph is. This side is where we do the magic of putting equations into Desmos. So first, you literally just type it in using the keyboard. This is magical. So you just go 6x plus 6y equals negative 6. Boom. There it is. It graphed the line for us. You didn't have to draw it. You didn't have to do any work. What's cool is if this graphs the lines, it's going to show you where they cross. Remember that all of a system of, when you solve a system of equations, what you're really doing is you're finding out where the lines cross. What point do they cross? So let's type in the other equation that came with that system of equations that we solved by substitution. Let's see if we get the same answer that we came up with earlier. 5x plus y equals negative 13. So this is how you interpret the results. You look at these two lines, see it gives you this little gray dot right here. This gray dot is where they cross. That is the solution to that system of equations. You hover the cursor over it and it says negative 3, 2. Let's go look at what I came up with earlier. Let's just make sure that we're not crazy. What did we come up with earlier? Whoa, hey, check it out. Our answer was negative 3, 2. So what Desmos just did is it saved you all of this algebra. You still need to know how to do this. It's important to know how you can get to an exact solution because Desmos won't always give you an exact solution, but this is a really good way. Desmos is a good way to quickly see where two systems of equations cross each other, and it saves you some work. So now and it's a really good way to have a visual of how that works. So with this week's assignment, what you're going to get is 6 equations that you need to solve using substitution, just to remind yourself how that works. And I do want you to show your work and take a picture of it. And then 6 equations that I want you to just solve by typing them into Desmos. I want you to get some experience and just some practice typing equations into the graphing calculator and seeing what outputs you get for an answer. I hope you find this as magical as I do, and I will see you in class.